प्रिंस ऑफ पर्शिया और कॉन्ट्रा गेम्स के दुनिया में कल्ट क्लासिक्स कहलाते हैं। ये वो गेम्स है जिन्हें पूरी दुनिया ने एक टाइम पर खेला है। अब लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट, इंडिया में गेम्स का कल्चर उतना पुराना और डेवलप्ड नहीं है। हम में से बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं जिनके पास ना निंटेंडो का कोई कंसोल था, ना प्लेस्टेशन था, और अब भी 2025 में भी बहुत लोगों के पास पीसीस तक नहीं है। आजकल तो इतने सारे इनकम्प्लीट ट्रिपल ए गेम्स रिलीज होते हैं जिनको खेलने में उतना मजा आता ही नहीं। There are some really great games that release, of course, but what if I tell you कि एक ऐसा गेम इंडिया में बन रहा है जिसमें आपको प्रिंस ऑफ पर्शिया, हेडीज, हॉलो नाइट ये सारे गेम्स का एक वाइब आएगा, while also being an incredibly immersive experience. Welcome to our Games Made in India series, और आज हम बात करने वाले हैं Winds of Arcana Ruination के बारे में। इस गेम को आपने हमारे इंडी गेम उत्सव के कवरेज में देखा होगा और बहुत सारे लोगों ने कहा था कि they were looking forward to this game's release. लेकिन let's take it back. Let's talk about कि ये गेम कैसे बना, और इसके बारे में सुनते हैं गेम के डेवलपर्स से जिनसे हमने बात की बेंगलुरु के उनके स्टूडियो पर। This is Brewed Games.
Hi, I'm Mahesh.
My name is Prashant.
My name is Yashasvi.
I'm Abhyuday.
And we're making
Winds of Arcana.
Winds of Arcana.
Winds of Arcana.
Winds of Arcana Ruination.
Winds of Arcana Ruination is a 2.5D Metroidvania game. But ये Metroidvania क्या चीज है?
The staple of a Metroidvania is ability gates, basically, which means there are certain portions of the map that are locked off that you need to come back to after getting an ability in another part of the map. You need to make sure that all of it makes sense, interconnected. All of it needs to stay fresh because you're going to backtrack through the same area multiple times. The time when we decided to do a Metroidvania Hollow Knight was like the best kind of example out there for world design or level design in a Metroidvania.
So basically, जैसे God of War में जब तक Blades of Chaos नहीं मिल जाते, you can't burn those vines and explore more, या बैटमैन के पहले गेम्स में जैसे वो स्पेशल बैटरैंक्स नहीं मिलते, पजल सॉल्व नहीं होते थे। इस कॉन्सेप्ट को कहते हैं एबिलिटी गेट्स, एंड दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मेट्रॉइडवेनिया। लेकिन ब्रूड गेम्स के इन डेवलपर्स को कौन से गेम्स ने इंस्पायर किया था, और क्या इस गेम में इंडियन कल्चर के रिलेटेड कोई ईस्टर एग्स या रेफरेंसेस होंगे?
So there are a lot of inspirations that went into the making of this game. First obviously was the Metroidvania genre itself and games like Hollow Knight and Ori and things like those. And then we were also like greatly inspired by the narrative and combat of games like Hades and even to an extent the old Prince of Persia, but predominantly Hades and more recent Souls games sort of. We tried to come up with the best formula for our game, so that was kind of the combination. So taken a lot of stuff from Indian mythology, Indian history as well. One thing I can say is some of the words, I don't know if people will recognize it, but I have named certain things in the game using an amalgamation of like Sanskrit or Telugu or Tamil or something like that, and then with Greek or ancient Norwegian or something like that. So there might be similarities there, but nothing overtly you point out and say that this is from this culture or this is from this mythology or anything, but it's inspired by the world essentially.
गेम का प्रोटैगनिस्ट काफी इंटरेस्टिंग है और इसके पीछे की इंस्पिरेशन है
anime actually. Like there's a concept called the Shounen heroes. Basically Goku, any popular anime, Naruto that you can think of, they're all like shonen heroes. Shounen Anime is a very popular genre itself. So basically a young protagonist, because it's a video game a lot of young people are going to play, so it's that relatability for that. Especially when we played Hades, we really loved the protagonist Zagreus.
इस गेम को ब्रूड गेम्स के डेवलपर्स यूनिटी पर बना रहे हैं और डेवलपमेंट के पूरे प्रोसेस में इतने सारे चेंजेस आ चुके हैं। डेवलपर्स को कॉन्स्टेंटली अडैप्ट, इम्प्रोवाइज और ओवरकम करना पड़ता है।
At this point we have had so many mechanics that we've had in the game, tried out and even for a long time then scrapped totally, and we built a lot of systems from scratch multiple times. I think the important part is you should be okay about scrapping things when it's not working or you don't like it for some reason or the design has changed. You should be okay with scrapping anything that you built, even if it's taken a year to do it. We've done it. I mean, we've scrapped level design, we've scrapped a lot of mechanics over time. So we actually made about 70 levels for the mobile. We thought, okay, doing this for the entire game it's going to be very difficult, so we scrapped all 70 levels we scrapped. Metroidvania is not going to happen, we are going to make a linear side scroller. And we showcased it at IGTC, I think 2022 if I'm not mistaken. And we got a lot of feedback, it was quite nice. Then we started talking to some really serious people. They were like, it makes more sense even from a pricing standpoint, if you actually make a PC game, because it looks more like a PC game more than a mobile game, right? So we thought, okay, we'll make PC first, then we'll go back to mobile if there's a demand or whatever. One final day, it was like a group text, I think we need to go back and make it a Metroidvania. I don't remember what it was, but everyone were on the same page. So that day we just scrapped the entire game and started did everything from scratch. So it was a Metroidvania. That's what you see right now.
अब ये गेम पीसी पर तो आ ही रही है एंड डेवलपर्स इसके साथ-साथ कंसोल्स पर भी रिलीज करना चाहते हैं.
We had an idea that we want to release on as many platforms as possible. So this game is going to be releasing on PC, of course, Steam, Epic Game Store. We will be on console, so that is Xbox, PlayStation 5, and hopefully we are able to even release on Switch. And maybe eventually, based on the response and based on how everything is going, we can even consider on mobile as well.
ये तो बात थी गेम के डेवलपमेंट की, बट इस गेम में है क्या वैसे? मैकेनिक्स कैसे होंगे? वेपन्स का वैरायटी कैसा होगा? और क्या वॉइस एक्टिंग भी होगी इस गेम में?
We have 9 different weapons, each with their unique look, lore, and functionality, and we have 3 different soul crests. Each of them have 4 like powers that you can cast. These things combined essentially provide unique playstyles for the player.
We have about 50 odd enemies, 13 bosses and 10 mini bosses, so that would add up to about 60 to 75 enemies totally. Most of them are done, but there's so much polish left. At this point, it's more about polish.
Again, it's not fully final yet, but he has done some voice work for the Aaron in our current demo, and he voiced the protagonist of Assassin's Creed Chronicles India. So I mean, I found out after I found him on Fiverr, so I was like, oh, this is great.
डेवलपर्स से बात करके हमें एक और चीज मालूम पड़ी एंड दैट इज कि Winds of Arcana Ruination का साउंड डिजाइन बहुत मेटिकुलस है और इसके पीछे है अभ्युदय.
Sound design, especially if it's done well, you don't notice it at all. If it's not done well, that's when it sticks out like a sore thumb. So each time the player's feet hit the ground, the sound will sound different if it's done well. Could be very subtle, but if you make it play the same sound each time the feet hit the ground, then you will notice, okay, something's wrong. So it's things like that. So inspirations come from different places for this. So I guess the big one could be like Vangelis' score for Blade Runner. It's not a game, but the score for The Revenant by Alpha Noto and Ruichi Sakamoto. So that's another big influence for the ambient stuff. But it's also about having this sort of dynamic between, okay, you have like really quiet sections where it's very atmospheric, and then you go into a boss battle, and then it's a very intense soundtrack when it comes to the boss battle. So it's having that contrast between the two.
When we started, we were using sound packs, just audio from here and there and whatever, and it was a pain. Honestly, we've experienced really good games with really good sound. We tried a lot of things, it never worked. Going through like 10,000, 20,000 different sounds to find the right one. I used to give Mahesh the task. He used to love it a lot. That's when we decided that we need a sound person. But even then, we knew we needed sound, but we had no idea what a big difference that would make. Because the way our initial pre-Abhyuday sound and post-Abhyuday sound is a world of difference. It is such a huge chunk that you don't realize. I think people need to seriously consider sound when they start working on their game.
अब ये गेम जो पीसी के लिए बन रहा है वो 2.5 इयर्स से डेवलपमेंट में है और हम जानते हैं कि गेमर्स के लिए एक और इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन ये भी है कि गेम कितना लंबा होगा.
Anywhere between 12 to 16 hours. For like you cover most of it, maybe 60-70%, and you reach the end, you finish the game. Of course, it depends, if you're like you chase the platinum, or you want 100% it, or you want to try new playthrough. All of that obviously changes the time. But yeah, there's a lot of content in there, a lot of areas to explore, a lot of quests to finish.
So you have the biome, which is, you have the world, and you have different biomes, and then you have each biome has an area. Each area has like so many different levels. So that's how it's structured.
डेवलपर्स ने कहा है कि इसी साल 2025 में रिलीज होगा ये गेम। ब्रूड गेम्स वर फॉर्चुनेट इनफ टू फाइंड इन्वेस्टर्स एंड इवन अ पब्लिशर, और इन्होंने ये भी बताया कि एक पब्लिशिंग टीम का होना कितना बेनिफिट करता है उन्हें।
When we began, I think the first couple of years, it was just 4 of us, co-founders in a 1-bedroom, 4th floor room in one of our friends' houses. And after that, we managed to raise some pre-seed capital from Ventana Ventures, or a VC fund. But I think at our peak, we were about 9 strong. But of course, we had to take a lot of like decisions starting last year. Now I think we're operating. We're about 6 of us, and there's still like all of us trying to do multiple different things. So I think the team size will remain the same until we're able to launch the game. We were also very fortunate to meet our publisher at one of the IGDC events. He saw the game, he really liked it, and we just shared some conversation. He was very happy to discuss and take things further.
The main thing that publishers are known for is they'll help you market your game. But there's a lot of other things they also provide. One, moral support, they provide testing support, they provide a lot of know-how based on their connects and knowledge, and all of that plays a factor into making and releasing a successful game.
These are all the things that happen behind the scenes जब एक गेम बन रहा होता है. But what's really special in this game is the inspiration. This game might feel like a love letter to all the classics, लेकिन with a fresh Indian twist. इस गेम का एक फ्री डेमो अभी भी Steam पर अवेलेबल है, so if you haven't played it yet, go check it out, क्योंकि ये डेमो खेलना और फीडबैक देना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ऐसे इंडी डेवलपर्स के लिए।
After every demo, we always have a huge list of changes to be made, and it's just a never-ending task of like trying to fix this, fix that. But luckily, we have a process in place now, so everyone knows. Okay, the build is out, feedback has gotten like populated, and then we just have to keep, it's just an infinite checklist. Like this is done, that is done, that is done. Ultimately, I think we'll be happy when the game is out, it's stable, people are having a cohesive experience, and people just saying that it's a fun game because the standards are very high.
Finishing a game is the hardest part. It's easy to make a prototype, very easy to make a prototype, then it's harder to make a demo, really hard to make a game and release. And I have a lot of respect to anyone who has actually finished and gone through the cycle, no matter what the game is.
And that is Winds of Arcana Ruination. इंडिया की गेम्स इंडस्ट्री को दुनिया के एस्टैब्लिश्ड इंडस्ट्रीज के लेवल तक पहुंचने में थोड़ा तो टाइम है, और ऐसे गेम्स बनाना और उन्हें खेलना भी उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट है इस प्रोसेस के लिए। तो इस गेम के स्टीम पेज को जरूर चेकआउट करो इफ यू फाउंड दिस गेम इंटरेस्टिंग, एंड मेक श्योर टू विश लिस्ट इट टू।
Winds of Arcana Ruination is on Steam. You can play the demo today.
Please wishlist it, it'll really help.
Please do wishlist it.
हमारे इस सीरीज में हम इंडिया में बन रहे गेम्स को काफी डीपली कवर करते हैं, तो आपको अगर ऐसे गेम्स के बारे में और जानना हो तो चेक आउट आवर पेज। लाइक तो करोगे ही इस वीडियो को, लेकिन अगर डेवलपर्स या हमें कोई मैसेज देना हो तो फील फ्री टू कमेंट बिलो।
Thanks for watching this video.
Thanks for watching this video.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching this video on IGN India.